guys, this cutlass was like long, shiny cutlass. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Mary. I'm back today with another video. If you're new to my channel, you're definitely welcome. Thanks for clicking on this video. So for my old subscribers, thank you for hanging in there. I have been MIA for quite some time now, but I'm back. So today's video is a story time, you guys. With all the things that's going on in the world, the Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, and the girls that were rape victims in Nigeria. My heart really goes out to them and their families, because I don't know what this world is turning into, but honestly, I just pray that everybody just stays safe and, you know, do the right thing if you can. So yeah, today's video is a story time, and this story time also has something to do with almost getting raped. Okay guys, so when I went to sleep at a guy's house and almost got raped. Now don't be fast to judge, just listen to me and you will know why I had to sleep in a guy's house. Before I go into before I go into the story proper, I just want to tell you guys that when this thing happened a long time ago, actually years and years and years ago, I was living with my uncle and his wife, and also I had met this guy, tall, dark and handsome guy, and I kind of liked him, but I was taking my time, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I met this guy. I was also working at that time, so that's just what I want you guys to understand. It's someone I know. So one of the yeah, okay, so this is how it happened. Okay, so there was this time after work. I closed from work at about 8 p.m. So I decided to go and see a movie. Now I had a colleague and she was also my friend, so I was like, okay fine, let's go and see this movie together. So we went to the cinema. So when the movie was over, it was about 10 p.m. and I went home. I like I said, I was living with my uncle, so obviously there were people at home by the time I got to the house. When I got to the door, it was locked. So I knocked and knocked and knocked and knocked and knocked. And the way the house is, the master bedroom, that's my uncle's room, is actually sort of positioned in a way that you can see in front of the house. So I saw their lights on, which meant that they were still awake, and I kept knocking. Nobody answered the door. Meanwhile, I used to have a spare key of my own, but because my cousin was staying over, one of my cousins was staying over, I just left my key at home. Like, okay, you know what? Keep the key. When I come back, at least she's going to open the door. She was aware that I was going to see a movie, just that I did not tell my uncle that I was going to see a movie. So after knocking and knocking and knocking, there was no response. I decided to go to the back of the house. I got to the back of the house. I knocked on the window of my room where my cousin was. I knocked and knocked and knocked, and she opened the window, and I was like, I've been knocking at the front door, nobody's opening the door, please could you kindly open the door? And she said she cannot open the door. I was wondering, why would you open the door? You know you have my key with you, just open the door and let me come in. She said sorry, she will not be able to open the door because she doesn't have the key. I was surprised, like, you don't have the key, how? She said that my uncle's wife came and asked her that she wanted to borrow the key. I don't know why she wanted to borrow the key, but she borrowed the key and did not return it. So okay fine, go and knock on their door and let them know that I'm around so that they can open the door for me. After a few minutes, she came back to the window and said sorry, they cannot open the door for me. I was like, why? Please open the door. I was there knocking. I went back to the front door, knocking, begging them to open the door. They did not open the door. So by this time it was like 11 p.m. already. It was night. Okay, people were not outside anymore. I was just there, and it was cold. So I went back. I called my uncle's phone, called him. He didn't pick the call. I decided, okay, fine, since they're not going to open the door, let me call my friend, because she dropped me off before she left for her house. Let me call my friend so that she can come and pick me. I'll go over to her house and sleep. I've never been to her house. She too was also living with her uncle and her aunt, and the distance between my house and her house is about 45 minutes, you guys. So I looked at it, I was like, maybe she's just barely entering the room. So I started calling this girl, and her phone was switched off. Apparently she has been chatting or doing something with her phone, I don't know. So her phone was switched off. I said, okay, fine, let me call my other cousins that were living like 15-20 minutes away from my house. Let me call her so that I will inform her that I'm coming over to the house. That was how I started calling them all. I called. I believe that I left about 1,000 missed calls. I'm not even exaggerating. I just kept calling. Nobody was taking my calls. I don't know why. I mean, when the devil means you, it's just God. So I kept calling and calling and calling. By this time, it was like 11:30 ish to 12 midnight. I was calling this girl. Her phone was ringing and ringing and ringing. She was not taking her call. Why wasn't she taking her call? I didn't have enough. I didn't have cash with me. I just had like some change with me, but I had my card with me. So I remember this guy, this tall, dark, and handsome guy. I remembered him. I was like, okay, fine. This guy is always like, once in a while, we go out to eat, go out for drinks. Let me call him so that he can take me to the nearest ATM, because I didn't want to gamble the cash I had with me. Like I said, it was change. I don't want to gamble it, go to the ATM, and then, anyway, God forbid. So I called him and he was like, okay, where are you? I told him I was outside my house, and he came and picked me up. By that time, I was so furious. I was filled with anger. I was calling my cousin. I was like, do you know what you did is not nice? Why would you give them the key? Even if you gave her the key, you should have gone back to say, okay, please give me the key because Mary is not back. That's a normal thing to do. But she didn't do that. Anyway, so I was so upset. The guy decided, okay, fine, let him take me to the ATM. My plan was that I was going to get money and I'll go to a hotel and sleep, you guys. So that was my plan. But the devil had another plan. So I went to the first ATM close by, not too far away from my house, about 10 minutes or 7 minutes drive from my house. Got there, tried to use the ATM. They said user switch something. User switch. My user switch was whatever. That means that my bank didn't quite have network. I don't know how to explain it, but that is what it meant. So I said, okay, fine, let's try other ATMs. You guys, I started trying ATMs from that my area. I kept going farther and farther and farther away just to get cash, you guys. I was unable to get cash. It was pure madness. I'd never seen this kind of thing before in my life. I traveled a distance with this guy, and this thing I was telling you, from that 11:30 ish, he arrived around midnight in front of my house. From that 12 that we're looking for ATM to get cash till 2 a.m. I did not get cash. So by that time, the guy was tired. He was like, please, just go over to my house. Just sleep over in my house. Just sleep over in my house. I'd never slept in his house. I don't know where he lives. I was like, oh God, please, I don't want to go to your house. I don't want to go to your house. Do you have any money? Pay for me. I'm going to pay you back. The guy said doesn't have anything. So last, I didn't have a choice. So I decided to follow him to his house, and we went to his house. His house is so far. Very, 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 very far. And it's not just far. The area where he resides, guys, the area where this guy resides is a huge estate, and in that estate in Abuja, in that estate, his house was like, to me, as at that time, his house was the last house. After his house, there were no more houses. Every other place was bushes. Guess what? There was no light. I don't know why I'm choking. There was no light that night when we got to that estate. No light. So when we got to his house, he opened the apartment. I entered. Before I entered, I said, you have to promise me that you're not going to force me to do anything I don't want to do. So he promised. He was like, okay, no problem. I'm not going to do anything to you. Don't worry. Just go in there and rest because I'm tired. I have work to do the next day. So I said, okay, fine. So I entered the house. When I entered the house, the first thing I noticed was a cutlass. You guys, this cutlass was like long, shiny cutlass. He just went, he picked it up, put it under the bed. I was like, what are you doing with a cutlass? He said, nothing. The next thing, he removed it from under the bed and put it under the pillow. I said, please, I cannot lie down. He said I should lie down. I said, no, I'm not going to lie down. I'm going to sit on the chair. He said it's for... Okay, you guys, pardon me in case you're hearing music. It's not mine. It's from my neighbor's house. I think they're having a good time or a party. I don't know. Anyway, where did I stop? So I asked him, like, so what are you doing with this cutlass? He said it was for security reasons. So I was like, this one that I'm here, security reasons, armed robbers. I don't even know if I'm safe with you. What kind of problem is this one? I started crying. I was crying, I was making calls that night. Nobody was picking my call. So I was like, okay, fine. He said, lie down on the bed. I said, no, I'm not going to lie down. Take off your clothes. I said, no, I don't want to take off my clothes. I'm okay like this. So I begged him again. I said, please, don't do anything to me tonight that I wouldn't want to do. He said, okay. He gave me his word the second time. So while I was on the chair sitting, he was like, you know what? You sleep on the bed. I'm going to sit on the chair. I said, okay, fine. It was a couch, just one couch, not a 3-seater that he could lie down on. So I said, okay, fine. I went and lay down on the bed, and I didn't take off my shoes. I was still wearing my shoes, fully dressed, and I lay down there. I was pressing my phone, making calls, and then I now had like 5% left of my battery life. 5%, you guys. I said, okay, let me just pause a bit and not press my phone too much before it finally goes off, and maybe they want to return the call. If they see my missed call, they'll be able to reach me, So that was how I was on the bed. I was really tired. I was beginning to doze off when I felt this guy touching me, trying to remove my clothes. I opened my eyes and I was like, you promised that you're not going to do anything. He was like, nothing, just small now, just small. I said, no, not what do you mean by that? Like, I was now like, instead of getting angry and shouting at him, probably I should just beg him. So I got down from the bed. I went on my knees. I was crying so badly. I was crying. I knelt down in front of this guy and said, please, don't do this to me. Don't do this. This one, you are taking advantage of me. The fact that I'm in I'm stranded and I'm in your house. If you do anything now, it's not because you love me or you care about me. It's just because you want to take advantage of my situation. So I begged this guy for almost an hour. I'm not exaggerating, you guys. I begged and begged and begged. Finally, he agreed. He said, okay, fine, I'm not going to do anything to you. Just lie down. I decided I was not going to lie down. I was going to sit at the edge of the bed. So I sat at the edge of the bed and I didn't sleep. So the guy went back. The guy came and lay down on the bed. That he cannot sit on the chair because he's a tall guy. That he cannot sit on the chair. So he lay down on the bed and started sleeping. My dear, from nowhere, I heard banging on the door. Someone was banging on the door so badly. I was scared, shaking this door. The guy jumped up, brought out his cutlass. I said, today armed robbers have come. I'm in trouble. What will I do? Rape again? I was just scared. When he opened the door, I saw a lady coming. And the girl charged. She ran past me, entered the kitchen, and went and got a knife. She got a knife and she was like, I'm going to kill you today, boyfriend snatcher. I'm going to kill you today, boyfriend snatcher. You guys, I was stranded in my house, almost got raped, almost got killed by the guy's girlfriend, just in one night. How God has saved me several times. I cannot explain. I started begging this girl. I said, please look at me. I am fully dressed. I'm even wearing shoes. I did not sleep with your boyfriend. I'm not doing anything with your boyfriend. I was stranded. I was crying and begging this girl. The guy was holding her. They started fighting. They were fighting. He grabbed her. He carried his cutlass. Like, she does anything, he's going to kill her. I said, I was begging the two of them. Please, don't do anything. Don't hurt yourself. Please, I'm begging you. I was begging them, crying. Then the girl looked at me. She said, well, I feel you're innocent, no problem, I'm going to leave you. But you see, you, she was talking to her boyfriend now, but you see, you, I will deal with you after everything I've done. You brought a girl to my house, no problem, no problem. Turned out that this house was this girl's house. You guys, she stormed out of the house. When she stormed out, it was like 3:30 ish, 3:30 to 4 a.m. As at that time she stormed out of the house. The guy followed her. I was contemplating what to do because I didn't know my way there, I didn't know anybody, I didn't know anywhere. So I said, okay, should I lock the two of them out? I locked the door. First of all, I ran out. So I got to the security post. Because I speak another language, I speak Hausa. The security was Hausa. Hausa is the Nigerian language, okay? I spoke Hausa to the guy, and the guy said, no, no, no problem, that this place is not safe, that please, 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 I should go back inside. I was like, what if they are planning things with this security? What will I do? So I went back inside and I locked myself in his house. I said, okay, fine, if he comes, he will not enter. The girlfriend will not enter. Nobody will enter the house. So that was how I was sitting down there till around 4 a.m. By 4 a.m., my phone started ringing. My cousin called me. And when I picked the call, not the cousin that was in my house that I gave my key, my other cousin that was calling to pass the night at her house. Apparently, she was not even at home. She had traveled to go and see her boyfriend. So even if I had gone to her house, it would have been useless. That was how she called me. She was like, where are you? Where are you? I told her where I was. I was crying as we were talking. The line went off. Then suddenly they brought the lights. When they brought the lights, I plugged my phone. It charged a little bit. Meanwhile, the guy was around. He was calling me to open the door. I refused to open the door. So I called my cousin. I was like, you have to come and help me. You have to come and help me. My cousin said, okay, fine. I should try and describe where I was. I said, okay, fine. So I described where I was and I left the house. When I left the house, this guy was begging me, it's not safe, it's not safe. Come back, come back, come back. I said, no, I cannot come back, please. I want to. You guys. This experience, I'm saying it like this, but I still feel hurt, really, really hurt, because that night anything could have happened to me, all because my uncle or my guardian or whatever was trying to prove a point that I came late, so he said I was going to sleep outside. What if something had happened? What if I was raped? What if I was killed? What would he have told my parents? What would he have told my parents? And even my cousin, what if something had happened to me and she did not make any effort? She was just sleeping in the room with the AC on, enjoying herself. What if something had happened? Well, how would they have felt? What would they have said to my family? Sometimes I just feel like some Nigerian guardians also cause their words or their children to fall into trouble. It's uncalled for. Even if he wanted to scold me, I believe that he should have just waited the next day and scolded me, or said, you know what, from today henceforth, I don't want you going out and coming back at so time. You guys, I don't want this story to be too long, but I feel that there are other ways to discipline me. I was over 18. I was not a child. I was working. But the way he treated me that day, and his wife treated me that day, it was very, very painful for me. So by the way, I walked out of the house and I started trekking on the road. I trekked for over an hour. I finally found my cousin at about 5:30 a.m. when she came. I met somewhere on the junction and she picked me to her house, and I went to her house to go and stay. I couldn't sleep for days. If I close my eyes, I'll just be imagining this girl barging in with knife, the guy trying to rape me. That was crazy, you guys. I don't know, but this was my experience. I'm just going to end this video. Please, if you like my story time, just give me a thumbs up and let me know. Also, leave a comment if you've had such an experience, or you know someone that's had such a close experience. This story I'm telling is not just to brag. I'm trying to say that those kids that were raped, they were probably helpless, but somehow God was just there for me. Somehow I came out unharmed. Okay, you guys. And honestly, when I look back, I really appreciate God for what he did for me. So for our parents, please, and guardians, please, you don't have to lock your children outside or your words outside because they came home late. please, there are better ways to discipline them. So yeah, that's my story of when I went to sleep over at a guy's house and almost got raped, but thank God I was not raped. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit on the notification bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. I will see you guys in my next video. I love you all. Stay safe. Bye.